Hello children, welcome back to the channel. As we described about the summary of this chapter, his first flight, Lemo Flaherty. He writes about a seagull as we explained the summary yesterday. In this video, we'll be going through the paragraph. Before you read, since the earliest times humans have different dream of conquering the skies. Here are two stories about flying. A young seagull is afraid to fly. How does he conquer his fear? So let us go through the first part of this story, his first flight. The young seagull was alone on his lease. His two brothers and his sisters had already flown away the day before. Young seagull. Seagull, it is a kind of bird which is found in the sea areas. She was alone in his lease, in his hole. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away. They have gone to make a flight in the sky already. And the day before, it was the time, a day before, when they left from their hole. He had been afraid to fly with them. But the seagull, he was afraid to fly. He was not, enthusiastic to fly in the sky because he was afraid of to be felt down below in the sky. Now, somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the lease and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Sometimes he tries to make a fly, but as he opens his wings, he is afraid of falling. He became afraid and went back to his hole. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. The expanse, expanded area of sea stretched down beneath. It was very terrible. It was very horrible for the young seagull to conquer the fear of his and to make a flight, because the expanded area of sea was frightening the bird. It seems to him that she would never fall in the sky like his two brothers and sister. She stays inside his hole and does not show his courage or dare to make a flight. And for that she was scolded and she was tortured by her two brothers, sister, and his parents as well. Now he felt certain that wings would never support him. One day, Seagull feels that she would never be able to fly, and his wings will never support him to fly in the sky freely. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the leaves where he slept at night. Again, making fearful and getting afraid of death, he went again to his hole and slept there for the whole night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he felt to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. Even he had two brothers and sister. His sister was younger than Seagull. However, she could easily fly in the sky. She could easily flap his wings. She could not her wings, and she could easily flew in the sky. She could easily make a trip in the sky. But when Seagull tries, he is afraid of death, and he could not collect courage. He could not collect enthusiasm to fly in the sky because he was very lazy and coward. He does not collect courage to make a flight in the sky. What happened next? It makes her desperate. Okay, Seagull is disappointed. She is frustrated. She is, lamentably thinking about her flight, that she will never be able to fly in the sky like her brothers and sister. His father and mother had come around. His father, his parents, came around Seagull, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his leg unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. His parents, Seagull's parents, called him shrilly with a bitter tone of the sound. They were scolding and shouting, upbraiding him. They were crying at Seagull. They were also threatening. They were also making him afraid to let him starve. Do not serve Seagull to eat anything, and on his legs unless it flew away. Do not provide anything to eat until he does not make a fly. But for the life of him, he could not move. But there was no impact on Seagull. Seagull was at ease as usual, as he was staying in his lease, a narrow hole. Now, that was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. Now, Seagull's parent and his brother's sister as well left him for 24 hours. Nobody went near Seagull. The day before, all day long, and he watched his parents flying about his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight. Seagull, he was watching his two brothers and sister flying along with their parents in the sky. Their parents were perfecting and giving trainings to make a perfect skill of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. His parents, Seagull's parents, were teaching and giving training to his rest of the children how to make a flight and how to skim the waves, how to conquer the fear, how to overcome the waves and how to catch the fish, how to dive for fish in the sea. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it. Now, a soft fine sea fish. He saw his brother catching a fish in the sky, standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. And all the morning the whole family had walked about the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. All the familiars, they were enjoying all the day. They were catching fishes, they were eating fishes, and they were taunting, using satire, using sarcasm for the seagull, that she does not fly, she does not want to fly, because she does not do hard work. So, cowardice. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his leaves that faced the south. He felt that heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stopped slowly out to the brink of the blaze. The sun was ascending the sky. The sun was moving towards westward. and blazing on his leaves that faced the south. And the leaves where a seagull lived was facing southwards, so it was blazing at his leaves, and he felt the heat, and it was making him to feel heat because he had not eaten since previous nightfall. Cause he had not eaten anything since previous night. He was starving. He was suffering from hunger. Now he stepped slowly out. He came outside to the brink and the leaves. He's standing on one leg with the other hidden under his wing. He was trying to show his courage. Finally, he came because he was suffering from hunger and starvation. So, a hopeless or disappointed person can do anything for his livelihood or for the hunger. So, he came out. He tried his best to make a flight. He closed one eye, then the other. उसने अपनी एक आंख बंद करी, फिर दूसरी भी, एज वी डू, कि हम आँखों से देखेंगे नहीं तो हमें डर नहीं लगेगा. शी डिड द सेम, उसने ऐसा ही किया, एंड प्रिटेंडेड टू बी फॉलिंग स्लीप, और सो गई. स्टिल दे टुक नो नोटिस ऑफ हिम. ही saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. The seagull saw his parents, brothers and sisters, getting nap. Doze means a nap, sleep for some time, and they were sinking into their necks. Means अपने गर्दन को मोड़कर वो प्लेटू पे सो रहे थे. इसने भी देखा, इसको भी नींद आ गई. His father was preening, making an effort maintaining feathers. अपने पंखों को सही कर रहा था. Only his mother looking at him. Seagull was being paid attention only by her mother. Sorry, his mother. सिर्फ उसकी माँ उसके तरफ देख रही थी. Because the affection of a mother is always essential for her children. She pays attention. Mostly, she could not leave her children without paying attention. She could not help with it. वो रह ही नहीं सकती. एक माँ अपने बच्चों को देखे बिना, उनकी देखभाल किए बिना नहीं रह सकती. हुआ क्या? While the breast thrust forward, she was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. She, mother of seagull, she was standing on a hump. Hump means कुबड़ा होता है, a rising part of plateau. एक थोड़ा सा पार्ट था जो कि उठा हुआ था vertically upward. Her white breast thrust forward. और उसका जो white breast था, it was thrust forward, means सामने दिखाई दे रहा था. Now and again, बार बार she tore at a piece of fish, and that lay at her feet, and they scraped each side of her beak on the rock. Means she was giving indication. She was having a piece of fine and fantastic fish. She was making greeded so that he would be tempted towards the fish of, towards the piece of fish, and her hunger will rise more and enough, and she would try to make a flight. The sight of the food maddened him. जो फिश का टुकड़ा था, it was making maddened him, पागल कर रहा था. It was making him crazy. Now he loved to fear food that way. He loved to tear food that way. He wanted to have that piece of fish, scraping his beak now and again to wet it, to sharpen it. Her mother, she was making it sharpen. I mean, she was rubbing the fish to make it sharpen and to eat. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Now seagull was making and shouting by saying गा गा गा, चिल्ला रहा था कि मुझे भूख लगी है, मुझे कुछ खाने को दे दो. But mother did not help him. लेकिन माँ ने उसकी मदद नहीं करी. Because he wants him to be independent. वो चाहती थी कि वो आश्रित न रहे, अनाश्रित हो और खुद से अपने भोजन की तलाश कर सके. That's it for this video. Keep practicing and learning till the next episode of this chapter.